Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Lunch and Learn webinar series, where we tell you about what's going on here at iCompleat and how you can get the most out of your Compleat subscription. Today's session will cover how to improve your processes with regards to the smart packs that, or invoice packs rather, that we have available within the system. Today we're excited to be sponsored. We're excited to introduce Heath Books as our Lunch and Learn sponsor. Heath Books is one of the leading specialist school book suppliers in the UK. It aims to eliminate the need for finance officers and teachers to spend valuable time dealing with multiple publishers, browsing vast websites and dealing with paperwork. They also have a proven track record of providing a fast, knowledgeable and efficient service with very competitive prices. In fact, each school order will receive a discount and free delivery. By being part of the Compleat ecosystem, Heath Books enables schools to make smarter buying decisions directly within our platform. I did have a look at Heath Books' website earlier, and it does look very informative and look a nice friendly bunch there. So we are going to be looking today at invoice packs, and the agenda. We're going to be talking about what the invoice packs are. We're going to just have a look at some of the use cases for invoice packs, how you can use them. I'll then be giving you a live demo showing you how to use those, how to create them and download them, etc. We'll then have another quick look at the Compleat ecosystem, and then there'll be an opportunity for questions and answers. And in fact, as we're going through this session, one of the questions that I wanted to ask of you is if you can think of any topics that you would like to cover through future Lunch and Learn sessions, then please do send us an email or a message and let us know. We always, obviously there's a lot in the system we can show you, but we're always eager to make sure that we are showing you what you would like to see. Move on through the slides. So we are going to first of all have a look at me. That's myself. Just some logistics. If we could keep all the microphones off, except for mine, obviously, just for the duration of the session. If you do, when you do think of any questions, just drop them into the question Q&A box. I'll go through and answer them at the end of the session. This session is also being recorded, so we will share a copy of the recording link out to you afterwards. So what are invoice packs? So they are downloadable packs of approved, ready-to-pay invoices. What I'll be showing you when we go through the demo is that all the invoices that I have within my demo system that haven't already been included into a pack are made available to be included into a pack. And we have a number of different use cases that different customers will use for those. We can download them either as a PDF pack, or we can download the results into an Excel format. And as you'll see, they are very quick and easy to create. Some of the benefits of running them: they can simplify and speed up the payment run. So again, coming back to some of the use cases that some of our customers have, some will use them for payment runs. So some of you will have what we call a distributed connector. So that is a connector that will connect iCompleat to your finance platform, and invoices will be posted automatically and can be picked up in the finance system payment run routine. However, we have got some customers that don't have that connector functionality, and they have what we call a flat file, which is where everything is exported through the system. And invoice packs is a very useful tool for them to very quickly get an idea of what invoices need to be paid. They also allow for things like sign off. Again, some customers will have a situation whereby perhaps a director or head of finance likes to just rubber stamp the invoices that are being paid. It also helps with archiving as well. So if you wanted to keep a copy of all of the invoices, whether it's an electronic soft copy, or if you in fact wanted to print a hard copy out, the invoice packs will allow you to do that in bulk, all in one go. And it's also handy for auditors as well. customers will use invoice packs to select a range of invoices, whether that's being dictated by the auditors or whether it's just an ad hoc range. But then the auditors will be able to see the process, the workflow that those invoices went through, and dates, etc. And I'll be showing you that information as we go through the example. And in fact, that is what we'll do now. So I will just get myself logged into my trusty demo site, and we will then have a look at how to create these. So what I'll be doing first of all is just touching on the admin and config side with regards to getting access to the function in the first place. So I have on the screen my iCompleat demo system, and we've also got our tiles running across the middle of the screen, and the tile that we don't yet have is the invoice packs tile, so I will go and introduce that now. So for those who have admin permissions, it's done through the configuration tile. We would then look to go to users, and because this is a function that is introduced on a user basis, we would choose the user that we would be looking to add this functionality to. So I'm going to go for my admin user. Brings us into here. It's on the reporting tab in the company that we want to have the function for, that I would be scrolling down to the bottom, and then it's down here, create and access printable invoice packs. Simple toggle switch to toggle that on. It then produces another option here, which is the person is an invoice pack approver. So you can have two different stages of invoice pack creation. You can have one person who is creating a pack and putting all the invoices together, and then you can have another person who is the approver. It can be that the same person is the approver, but if you wanted that split of duties, you can have one person as the creator and one as the approver. I'm just going to set for this user that they are the creator and approver, both at the same time. Just going to click on Update User, and if I go back to my home screen, I've now got invoice packs introduced as a tile that's available for me. I'll click onto the invoice packs tile, and that will bring me into this screen here. Now I've got in here an invoice pack that I had already created, and you can see that it's giving the date at which the pack's been created, the reference, the description, who created it, the net VAT and gross totals, and the number of invoices in the pack. I can click onto this line, and this will slide the screen across and populate the details of those invoices. So the two invoices was invoice number 3 and 8. I've got the information across here. This is where I could export it to PDF or download to Excel if I wanted. If I went this route, it would purely just give me the transactional data. What I can also do is I've got a view button here. And if I click on to view, what that will do is download the pack that's being created. And if I open that up, this is the pack itself. Let me just zoom in a little bit so it's a little bit more prevalent on the screen. So invoice pack 4 and then the company name, the summary information, who created it and when and what the reference is. And then as I scroll down, I've got one page which is giving me the approval timeline. So again, things like the date of the invoice and who approved it. So you can see this was an auto submitted, but if it was the case that it had gone to multiples, you would see this present itself through onto this page. And as I said, auditors will be able to see the approval timeline. We've then got additional information about the invoice. And if I keep scrolling to the next page, we will then have a copy of the invoice itself. And then if I scroll down, it will then move on to the next one. So this is invoice number 8. Again, shows the information. Scroll down, you then get a copy of the invoice. And that's essentially what the invoice pack is. Now, this is obviously one that I've created before. If we want to look at creating a new pack, then what I would be doing is coming down here to where it says create a new invoice pack. I would put in a description. So what I'm going to do, I use the description March, so I'm running these invoice packs on a monthly basis, for example, and I'm just going to put May. We then have two toggle switches. Do we want to include the invoice details? So that is the information that we're seeing about the net VAT and gross values, etc. And do we want to include the timeline as well? So that is an option. There is a slight warning here. Packs, including timelines, take longer to generate. When we're talking about the time to generate an invoice pack, one of the questions that regularly comes up is how many invoices can we include in a pack? That does vary on number of different factors. What I would suggest is if you are running this for the first time and you want to archive a load of historical invoices, if you batch them up, so batch them up into say 200 or 300 invoices perhaps, just let it run, and away you go. If you're doing it monthly, then fine, but as I said, don't go mad and tell it to do everything, because you might end up with some issues and it just taking a long time to generate that pack. But once we've got the information sitting into here, we would click create new pack. Now what it's going to do, it's going to ask me, would you like to choose the invoices to go into this pack or add all available invoices? Now the all available invoices is any invoice that has been approved. So the invoice pack will only include approved invoices. And in addition to that, it's going to be invoices that have not already been included in a previous pack. So an invoice can only be included into a pack once. Once it's in there, it's locked in there. And then the available options we have would be any other invoice that is approved and has not already been put into a pack. If I click on choose invoices, you can see it's bringing up, I've only got a few invoices in my system, but we can then go and select the invoices that we want to add. And we click OK, and that is generating our pack here. Now it's asking me, do you wish to approve this invoice pack now? So this is that additional toggle switch that I showed you through the user account, whether the person is able to create a pack and approve a pack. If I say no, don't approve a pack, then the options we have is obviously to approve or to delete. You can only approve an invoice pack if it has not yet been approved. We can click onto there to see when they come through the invoices that were added in there, and obviously the options we've got are to approve or delete. If I click on to approve that, it's then going to show me again the screen just to allow me to then double check what is in there and add or remove anything if I want to, but then I'd click approve. It does give the warning, once a pack is approved, not possible to change. Do you wish to continue? Just say yes. And that's going to run away and process and put that into a pack for me. Now, whilst that's running, if I take you back to the home screen and then into the invoices side, if we have a look at my approved tray, what you'll see is we've got in here invoice packs. So these red pinkish printer icons, this is telling us which pack they have been downloaded into, so, or included into rather. So you can see we've got invoice pack 1, invoice pack 4. So the fact that we're jumping from 1 to 4 would indicate that I've created a pack 2 and a pack 3, but I didn't approve them, I've just deleted them. But this would be the indicator to show you what has been included into a pack, and obviously these two are, or rather these 4, are not denoted with that printer icon, therefore have not been included into a pack. If we just go back, hopefully the system will have created that pack for us by now, and it has. There's our pack 4. If I click onto view, downloaded the pack for me. There's my invoice pack, and again, just zoom in a bit. It's giving me the header page for the pack itself. Details, you can see this one has a little bit more in the approval timeline. So submitted and then approved by Simon with the invoice details here. Scroll down, there's our invoice. On to the next one. Timeline, scroll down, there's our invoice, etc. And these are available obviously to store electronically or print as you wish. So that's obviously the how to create the pack and view it. The next time we come to the system, as I said, if I was to put in, let's say this was June's pack, create a new pack, choose invoices, you'll see that I've now only got the two remaining in there. Before I had many more invoices available to add, but now I've just got those that have remained in the system. I do appreciate it was showing 4 on the previous screen, and that's probably because the joys of a demo system and those invoices have probably been switched not to post or something, but normally you would see all invoices outstanding sitting in there. So that is the demo side done. Just before we jump to any questions, just wanted to mention again the Compleat ecosystem. So it's our built-in supply network that connects businesses with trusted providers across a huge range of industries. So whether you're looking for office supplies, financial solutions, or specialized services, the ecosystem makes it seamless to find, connect with, and buy from the best suppliers without the usual hassle. What you see here is just a small snapshot of the many suppliers that we have through our system, and obviously there's Heathbooks who were kind enough to sponsor us for this lunch and learn session. So what I'd like to do is just open up to see if anybody has any questions at all. I will just see if I can bring up my questions section here. Oh dear, come on, just trying to get in there. Right, okay, so first question I've got here is the supporting documents downloaded with the invoice packs as well into the packs? Unfortunately, no, it is purely just the invoice itself that would be included into that pack. Another question, how many invoices can you have in a pack? Obviously, that's we try and encourage not to have too many added in there. Back in the day when people were trying to add thousands, that was obviously causing a little bit of an issue. If you try and reduce it into batches and just be patient, let them run. Obviously, we saw an example there of I think it was 3 invoices and it took a few seconds. But yeah, multiples will obviously just take a little bit longer to run. I have a question here. What is the best reason for using invoice packs? Multiple reasons, as we said. So it's if you wanted to incorporate it in part of your payment runs, have somebody eyeball the invoices first. Some customers like to have that added sense of security in there. Other reasons could be for auditors, where they are being asked to display the invoices and the details of how and when they were approved, but also for archiving purposes as well. If you wanted to have a separate store of all the invoices, you can utilize invoice packs for that. Just going through the questions. Can you release invoices from an invoice pack so as to create another? Unfortunately, no. No, once an invoice pack is or rather once an invoice is in a pack, then it is locked in there. And that does lead on to the next question. Can I delete an invoice pack? You can, up until the point that it has been finally approved and locked. So again, it may be that you want to separate those 2 roles, one person creating the pack and another person approving the pack, just to make sure you are getting the correct invoices in there. But certainly once a pack has been approved and created, any invoices within there are then locked in to that pack. Another question here, can you reprint a pack? Yes, you can. If you were to go back into the invoice packs option, it's just a simple case of clicking on view. Clicking on view will download it again for you, and then from there you can obviously store it or print it as you wish. Got some good questions coming through on this one. As an admin, can I control who has access to this? Yes. Yeah. So the function itself is given to individual users. So through the configuration, you would be going to the users and then assigning that functionality to a particular user on their reporting tab. And it's again here where you can then choose whether they are able to create a pack or approve or do both. Excellent. So to see if we've got any other questions. Delete. No, I think that is everything. Obviously, if I have missed any questions, then please do feel free to reach out. Hopefully that has answered everything. And remembering the key thing, if you did want to use this, as we've just seen, you'd need to get your administrators to give you access to that actual function. So that just leaves me to thank you all for attending this session. Obviously, up on the screen now, we've got just some contact details. So our customer success at compleatsoftware.com, or you can connect to us via LinkedIn. As I said, if there is any particular topics that you would like us to cover in the next Lunch and Learn, then please do let us know. We'd be very keen to hear back from you. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Thank you very much for giving up your lunchtime. But thank you all. Have a great afternoon and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you ever so much.